Well, the building which stands before me is part of what was once known as the thriving McRobertson's Chocolate Empire. Founded in 1880 by McPherson Robertson, this building was a thriving chocolate business. By 1900, there were only over 35 of these buildings that covered some 5 blocks of the Fitzroy landscape. McRobertson himself had an obsession with the colour white. He wore a white suit. All of his employees wore white uniforms. All of the buildings, such as these McRobertson buildings, were whitewashed, and such earned the term the White City. Now, in 1945, McRobertson died, and in 1967, his heirs sold off the business to Cadbury. And subsequently, a number of these magnificent buildings were demolished. Now, only a few remain, and one of these such buildings is 156 Rose Street here in Fitzroy. For your offering today, we have apartment number 11. It has a favoured northeastern aspect, taking beautiful advantage of that beautiful morning light that comes through those iron windows. From the north, we receive that beautiful northern sunshine through the winter. We've got lovely high ceilings, generous living spaces, 2 good bedrooms, lift access. The accommodation is very, very generous, but it's the skin of the building is where all the value lies. It's the skin of the building that is unique. It's the skin of the building that separates it from so many other apartments in the marketplace, because they just don't build these anymore. Developers don't put them together, and they're hard to find because there aren't many left. It's unique, it's bespoke, and it holds great value. And that's why it has drawn so many buyers through it over the last 3.5 to 4 weeks. Some 119 of you, in fact. We've issued out some 15 or so contracts to the property, just showing what a great interest there is in the property and what a superb response it's had from the market. The location, well, Fitzroy, do I need to explain? I will cover it off for you briefly though. It is a destination for so many people these days. 15 to 20 years ago, it was one of those suburbs that you'd trip over and you'd find on the way to somewhere else. It's now a destination for so many people that live outside Melbourne. It's a destination for tourists. They have it on their itinerary. Why? The best restaurants, the best bars, the best cafes. A lot of people do lay claim to having the best bars, restaurants and cafes, but all you need to do is switch on the TV. All you need to do is read the paper or read a traveller magazine or a gourmet magazine. There's mention of stuff in Fitzroy daily and weekly. It's a great spot to live. It's a great spot to enjoy everything that Melbourne has to offer. Now, folks, there are a few formalities I have to go through today before I can call for your bidding. The first of those will be, I'll summarise for you the rules pertaining to today's auction, and I will then summarise the contract of sale, and then it'll be over to you for what is, I hope to be, some very competitive and exciting bidding here today. So without further ado, folks, I will advise you that today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available before the start of today's auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer, I will indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides fines for this conduct. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor bid, and only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. So that concludes the rules. That walks us straight into that contract of sale, which has been on display for the last half hour and issued out to a number of you over the last couple of weeks. Straightforward document indeed. It reads that we, Jallis Craig, are indeed agents for the vendors here today. We're offering for your competition the property known as lots 11 and 31 on Planner Subdivision 409295Y. The reason there are two lots, folks, lot 11 being the car park and lot 31 being the apartment itself, all being the land more particularly described here in the attached certificate of title, volume 10358, folios 541 and 561, and more commonly known to you and I as 11 at 156 Rose Street here in Fitzroy. Now, passing with the property at settlement will be all electric light fittings, the window furnishings, the floor coverings, and all fixtures and fittings as inspected, including the security system. The price of the property will be determined by your competitive bidding here today. And once sold, I'm calling for a deposit equal to that of 10% of that purchase price and the balance of purchase monies on the 8th of July 2017. Now, the settlement date, that is the date upon which vacant possession of the property will be given, namely acceptance of the payment, acceptance of title and payment of the whole of those purchase monies, and the day of sale, well, we're very anticipatory that that will be today's date. This is the 9th day of May 2017. Now, the vendor statement attached to the contract, or also referred to as the Section 32, call it what you like, you're right in both ways, outlines the property to have a neighbourhood residential zone under Schedule 1. A copy of title is detailed within there, which is a strata title, folks. All the outgoings are listed, being council rates, water rates, body corporate fees, services being electricity, gas, water, sewage and telephone. They're all available and connected. There are no building approvals on the property in the past 10 years, and there are no notices on the property. Give you an absolute clean bill of health, allowing you to bid in absolute confidence for what is a very unique piece of real estate. Something that's hard to find, something that will never be reconstructed, and something that each and every one of you has an opportunity to bid for here today. Now, it's been some 9 years since this one last come onto the marketplace. There's only been 2 other apartments in this building sold within the last 6. So run the numbers, folks. Opportunities like this do not come along often. What you're going to have to pay for this moving forwards, past today, well, I don't know, let alone when one's going to come up. So really give some careful consideration to your bidding here today. I think that you are going to have to stretch yourselves. You will possibly have to make yourself a little uncomfortable when it comes to price. But I'm certain that when you look back on this years to come, if you do win this today, you are going to smile, you are going to be happy, because you're going to be having enjoyed yourself such a magnificent warehouse apartment, and the lifestyle that's come with it, you'll be addicted to it. So folks, do I have any queries or questions in regards to the auction process here today?
Mr. Auctioneer?
Yes, ma'am.
This property's been on the market since the 11th of April, and I'm yet to see a statement of information. Do you have one available?
There's a statement of information, ma'am, advertised on our website. We do have one on display inside the home. The statement of information outlines the property to have a assessed range by ourselves as agents from 1 to 1.1 million. Would you like me to get a copy of that? Okay, thank you for your question. Best of luck with your bidding should you choose to do so. Any other queries at all, folks?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If I'm a successful bidder today,
Yes.
can I please have my contract subject to a building inspection?
Look, ma'am, we are dealing with an unconditional sale here today. We cannot make the sale subject to a building inspection. Should you choose to bid, you will have to, I guess, take that into consideration, whether you choose in building or not. I do wish you all the best with your bidding today. Thank you for your question. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Well, there are no further questions. There is one other minor point that I would like to draw your attention to, that the settlement date has been scheduled for the 8th of July 2017. As per special condition 16.2 of the contract of sale, that does stipulate if the settlement date is to fall on a Saturday, a Sunday or a bank holiday, that settlement date will then revert to the next business day. So although settlement is stipulated for the 8th of July, it will move forwards to the 10th of July or any other date hereupon agreed between yourself as the buyer here today and the vendor. So folks, 11 at 156 Rose Street, Fitzroy, one of the McRobertson's chocolate factories. McRobertson was so famous for bringing us the Freddo Frog, and he's so well respected for bringing us these buildings. There's not going to be any more of them. I wish you the best with your bidding, and I have a question for you, and that is, who'd like to bid and buy this magnificent Warehouse 11 at 156 Rose Street here in Fitzroy?
Give me $900.
At $900,000, sir? Good start there at $900,000, and we'll keep it going in rises of $20,000 increments from there. Fairly bid and offered at $900,000. I thank you for the bid. Who'd like to join me for another 20 now? At $900,000 on the right, against you everywhere at this point in time. At $900,000 on the right, against you ever at $900,000. Fairly bid and offered now. At $900,000 the bid. Who wants to join me for another 20? At $900,000 a bid. At $900,000 on the right, against you everywhere. What's in the bidding at $900,000? At $900,000 for the third final time. Anyone like to join me for 20? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put in a vendor bid at $920,000. Vendor bid at $920. I'd like to come back for another 40, sir. Another 20 on top at $920. Vendor bid at $920. Another 20 on top if you like. At 20 now at $940, bidding in two places at $940, 20 from you, sir, can I say? At $940 to bid. At $940 to bid. Bids here, against you there. Against you everywhere else now at $940 to bid. Sorry, madam? Ma'am, I'm in rises of 20. Would you come with me for 20? Take me to 960? How about we split it for 10? 50? Look, I'm here to be fair, I'll take you 5. At $945,000, I'll extend you the same opportunity, ma'am, at 5s, or multiples thereof perhaps. At $945,000, would you like to take me to 955? At $945 the bid. At $945,000, bidding in 3 places, against you here, against you there at the rear, sir, and the bid's here on the right. At $945 the bid. At 10, 955 now, come back quick if you like. At $955. At $955,000 the bid. Have I got your best, sir? You're still in it, just observing. At $955,000, could invite you back for another 5. At 60 now, at $960 to bid. On the right here, against you primarily, ma'am, at $960 to bid. Will you join me for another 10? I'm here to be fair, I'll take you 5 at $965 now. At $965, get back on top, ma'am. Take me to $970 or better if you like. Will you come with me for 5? At $965 the bid. At $965,000, the bid's here against you there.
Sorry, Mr. Auctioneer, can you just identify where that last bid came from?
The bid's here, sir, at $965,000. Would you like to join me with the bid, sir? Participate, contribute, 5 or 10? What can I say? At $965 the bid here on the left. What's in the bidding at $965? What's in the bidding at $965,000? And for the third and the final time at $965,000. At $975 vendor bid now. The bid's at a vendor bid at $975. Can invite you back for another 10 now. Vendor bid $975. At $975 the bid. At $975,000, I'll invite you in for another 5 if you like. 5,000, ma'am. At $980, welcome back to the bidding at $980,000 now. At $980, would you like to come in for 5, ma'am? The bid's here. Yes, you're there. At 10 at $990 now. At $990 the bid. At $990 the bid, another 5 if you like, ma'am. At $990 the bid's here. Against you there. Against you everywhere else now. Once in the bidding at $990. Yes! I'm here to be fair, I'll help you now at $992.5. At $992.5, would you like to join me with another 2.5, ma'am? Or even take me to $1 million if you like. At $992.5, the bid's here. What would you like to bid? So I suggest 5. At $992.5, the bid is here. Yes, you're here primarily. Yes, you're there and everywhere else at $992,500 then. What's in the bidding at $992.5? Yes! In the bidding at $992.5. For the third and the final time, are you finished? You're silent. Are you all done at $992.5? 2.5, ma'am. What about 5 or 1? At $992.5, the bid here. At $992.5. What about you, sir? Have I got your best? Have I gone past you? You're still in it? You still want it? You liked it before. It's still as good now at $992,500. Dealing exclusively with the highest bidder for the right to negotiate with the vendor at the reserve price, folks. What you are doing now is you are bidding for the right to negotiate exclusively with the vendor. I am here to help you buy. The highest bidder below the reserve price will have that. Yes, ma'am. I'll have you. Thank you for letting me know. Right. Ma'am, if the property is passed into you primarily, at this point in time we're bidding on the basis of 30 or 60 days. I will just get my assistant, Danielle, can you please run to see if 120 days settlement will be acceptable? Ma'am, I can't come back to you at this point in time. I'll let you know as soon as I do. At $992,500, dealing with the highest bidder for the right to negotiate At the vendor's reserve price, I assure you we're close. At $10,000, $1.2 million. $1,250,000, the bid's here. Another 10, can I say, ma'am? At $1.2 million, the bid. At $1.2 million, at $1.7 million now. Welcome back to the bidding, sir. At $1.7 million, round me off to $1.10 million, if you like. $1.7 million. 10 on top. $1.17 million now. At $1.17 million, the bid. The bid's here against you there, sir. Another 10, can I say? $1.17 million, the bid's here. 5. $1,022,500. At $1,022,500, another 5 or 10 if you like. $1,022,500, the bid's here. 2.5 at $1,025,000. $1,025,000, another 2.5 now. $1,025,000, bid's here. Your turn, sir. $1,025,000. What would you like to bid? $1,025,000. What's? $1,025,000. What's? $1,025,000 at 5 now. At $1,030,000 the bid. At $1,030,000 the bid. Bid's here. Gets you there, ma'am. Another 5, can I say, at $1,030,000. And let me tell you this, we're free reserve and we're on the market to sell the highest bidder. Not going inside to see the vendor other than to congratulate him on the sale. I'll be congratulating you as well, whoever the highest bidder may be. At $1,030,000 the bid now, we're selling. Have I got your best now, ma'am? At $10, $1,040,000 now the bid. At $1,040,000, come back quick if you like, sir. At $1,045,000. $1,045,000 the bid. At $1,045,000 the bid, your turn for another 5. $1,055,000. $1,055,000 here. $1,055,000. $1,055,000 the bid. The bid's with you. It's yours at $1,055,000. $1,060,000 now. $1,060,000. $1,060,000. 60, another 5 on top if you like. At $60,000 now. At $1,060,000 and $70 now. $1,070,000 the bid. $1,070,000, come back with another 5 or 10 or better if you like. That's $75,000 now. At $75,000, are we selling? At $75,000, have I got your best? Come back with another 5 if you like. 2.5. At 2.5. At $1,072,500 the bid. At $1,072,500. Insert, out. At $1,073,500. At $73,500 the bid. At $73,500, another one if you like. At $73,500. At $76,000. At $76,000 the bid. At $76,000 the bid. $77,000. 8. $79,500. $1,075,500. You'd like to round me off to $1,080,000, sir. Nice, easy number to count. Get him while the deal's there. $1,080,500. $1,083,000. $1,083,000 the bid. At $1,083,000 the bid, sir. 84. 84. Bid's going to be. Big bold bids will get there quicker at $1,084,000. The bid's with you, sir. It's against you here, ma'am, and against you there primarily, ma'am, in the front. At $1,084,000 do we sell? I'll call it down 3 times. When the contract hits my hand, the property will be sold. At $1,084,000 the bid here, folks. If you have an interest, it's a very good time to get involved. I won't be dealing with any late bids. At $1,084,000, can I tempt you for another one? Look at it. There's nothing else like it in the market, and it'll be a while until I see something else like it in the market at all. We've waited 9 years for this one to come up. Today's the day. 2 bedrooms, heart of Fitzroy. What a magnificent building, ma'am. Can you bear to miss it? Have I got your best? Are you sure? Are you certain? You won't regret this. At $1,084,000 then, how about you, ma'am? At $1,084,000, the bid's at the rear. Gets you here, gets you there, gets you where else. At $1,084,000, I'll call it down 3 times. Once in the bidding at $1,084,000, the bid's here. Twice in the bidding at $1,084,000, the bid's here. For the 3rd and the final time, are you finished, silent and done? At $1,084,000, we're selling. We're selling. Sold. Congratulations. Well, congratulations to our winning bidder. Commiserations to the other bidders. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a great weekend, and thanks for attending another Jealous Craig auction. Thank you very much.